All right, friends, it is 7:02, so we are going to get started. I'll be watching the waiting room, but if you know somebody's trying to get in and I am not paying attention, please let me know. But in general, we don't have a problem with that. First of all, to kick things off, we just want to say thank you guys for all your support and for all of you who have been reaching out and trying to help and looking for what you can do with the passing of Carly. It obviously has been a devastating time for her family and for many of us. I just want you to know that Nicolette and I and our whole team have really felt all the support and encouragement you guys have been giving us. And if you can keep that up in the days to come, it is very, very difficult, and it will probably remain very, very difficult. So they are having a memorial for her children. I know many of you have asked how you can help. We're going to post that link when we get it. We're double checking to make sure we have exactly where they want it to go. So if you've been asking about how to help with that, just hold on tight for a moment, and then we'll get you guys that information as soon as we can. So it's weird to make a seg, right? But this is real life and this is what it is. And all of us are expected to continue living life, to go back to business. And I know it feels really, really weird. And I know for a lot of people in my organization, it feels really weird to be working right now. I know many of you have gone through things in your own life that is very similar to this. So just know that we know what it's like to be surrounded by personal stuff, to have a lot going on, and to feel like, how am I supposed to talk about whatever about business right now? So if you've been feeling that this season, you are not alone in that. We just wanted to close the year off with a couple of things that we feel like can really set you up for success. I love stuff that rhymes. Maybe you do. Maybe you think it's lame. Get on board the lame bus. We're fine with that. I'm getting a message that my internet is unstable. So if you can't hear me or if I get stuck, somebody let me know. It is a real privilege of living rurally. So there are 3 reflection questions that before you just get so caught up in getting the holidays picked up and getting everybody back to school and all the things we do here at the end of the year and the beginning of the year, that we wanted to help you work through to kind of like close up 2024 and really set you up for success in 2025. But before you do that, before you can really answer these questions in a way that is not just you hope you know the answer, here are some numbers I want you to go look at. So number 1, and if you were at Danielle's area manager tree, you heard some of these already. These are basically the circle of what it looks like to run a successful business. So picture it being a pie chart, and it's all divided into different slices of pie. Now, you may be a successful, let's say it's area manager, with your different slices of pie being much different sizes than somebody else's. All that matters is that you can get your pie full, that you can get a whole pie. So some of you might have much higher CQV and much less people on your team. Some of you might have a lot more people on your team, a super deep bench, and your CQV is not as high. No matter what you have, as long as you can get yourself to a whole pie, that's all we're going for. But these are the numbers I want you to go back and track. If you are not a tracker already, I really suggest you start doing that. I did not start doing that until well into my business. And I wish someone had told me that if you take yourself seriously as a business owner, you have to know the numbers. This is not a I go on vibes type situation, which if that's you, I really hear you because I go on vibes about a lot of my business decisions. But when you're looking back at your year and you're actually trying to assess what went well, what didn't go well, you need to know the numbers. So here's what I want you to go back and look at. New direct PCs. So every month. New direct ICs every month. I would say when I do this for my business, renewals don't count. It's really tempting to go ahead and count a renewal because it feels good. Don't do it because it's not really new. CQV every month. Then take a look at who are your true leaders. If you've been around a little while, one of the things that many of us are doing to ourselves are we keep thinking these people are going to come back. They're going to do the amount of volume they used to do. They're going to help with leadership and lead in the way that they used to. And the fact of the matter is that might not be true. It might be true. It can be a lot of times. And I know we all really would love that because we love these people as humans. But it's one thing to say, I love you as a human. And it's another thing to constantly be in your head relying on the fact that they're going to do something that they have shown you in the last 12 months that they maybe don't want to do anymore. When we say people are in Arbonne for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, we really mean that. And what that means is in our businesses, some people are only gonna be there for a season, as much as that breaks our heart. Now, I highly suggest, like Heather Solomon has taught us, you stay friends with those people because we actually love them as humans. I also highly suggest, as Shannon Wenzel, you don't lie to yourself that they're magically going to start doing what they used to do. They might not. Their reason, their season might be done, and that has to be okay with us. So checking out then, who are your true leaders? And looking at your bench. So I call bench the people who have for a long time maybe held a consultant ID or who used to be real leaders on your team and who actively put in volume every month. Let's say these are like your $500 to $1,200, $1,500 people. They never go above that. They really don't. They might catch a wild hair in a good sale month and you're like, oh my gosh, have you seen yourself lately? You hit 1,800, but they never ever go above that. And they haven't expressed to you that they want to go above that. That's what I call your bench. Your bench are people that unfortunately sometimes are easy to ignore because we think they know what they're doing. They don't really need anything from us anymore. They're not actively trying to grow and they're not PCs. So we kind of ignore that category sometimes. One of your goals for 2025 might be to give that category more and see what you can do in terms of making sure they have everything they need, because very often those are the people who do not know that we have a new nutrition website. They don't always know about the sales and the specials Arbonne's doing every month because we don't always include them in the messages that we send PCs. So then taking a look at them and really assessing where your business was in 2024, not with the goal of making you feel bad about yourself, but by actually looking at numbers and not relying on our emotions and what we hope is happening so that we can make better decisions for 2025. And then here are the 3 reflection questions that I think can be helpful. We talked about these a little bit, but not a ton. First thing is, what worked? These are real simple. What worked in 2024? If you look at your CQV and you're like, yes, girl, I hit my brick every month and that's all my goal is, or I hit my double brick every month, or I hit my triple brick every month. I'm a killer at CQV. That's working. If you're taking a look at your new consultant sponsoring and you're like, you know what? I had at least one every month, maybe one every other month, maybe 2 a month. All right, you're doing great. You look at your PC sponsoring, you're like, okay, well, my organization isn't doing great, but I am doing well. Good, good. That's what's working. Second question then, obviously, is the reverse of that. What's not working? When you look at the numbers, what has not been working? And again, this is not with the goal of feeling shame. It's such a waste of our time. Like, do not look at that and then feel bad about yourself and then go into a spiral and decide to do nothing. That's not the goal of this. The goal of this is to try to figure out, where are you missing skill? Do you have a crack in your belief about one of those things? Do you not have a skill? So you've been avoiding that thing because you just can't do it. Like you don't know how to do it yet. And it hasn't occurred to you to say, hey, MVP, I don't know how to do this thing yet. Where can I figure it out? You know, like figure out why. Why is it something you're not doing? It might be something you don't want to do. I will be very frank with you. There are things in this business that I continue to choose not to do. Could they serve my business? Absolutely. I continue to choose not to do them. I know that though. I'm not lying to myself about it. And if I say, I'm going to do everything, this business has to grow in 2025 and I am willing to do everything, everything's going to include some of those things that right now I'm like, meh, it's not for me, right? And then third question, what skills do I want to learn in 2025? Anything you can think of. Because again, this is not about how we feel about ourselves. This is not about I'm a good businesswoman, I'm bad at this, blah, blah, blah. All of that is a waste of time. You can get better at most anything that you're self-aware that you need to get better at and that you put effort into and that you ask for help. And the resources are there. Here in the year of our Lord, 2024, the very last seconds of it, you can really find anything. There's not a good reason anymore to be like, well, I just don't know how. You might not want to know how, but in a 10-second search, you can find people willing to teach you how to do almost anything. And isn't that a blessing? I don't know what we were talking about the other day with my kids, and my dad was like, what? And I was like, yeah, we're just going to Google this up real quick because I don't know how, but we can watch a YouTube video really quick and teach ourselves how to do this thing. There is no shame in not knowing how to do something. There is shame in being obtuse about it and being like, oh, I guess I can't do it, right? That's not what we're doing because we're smarter than that and we're better than that. So looking at those questions, and then it's time to get really, really honest with yourself about your mindset and your goals. Where are those cracks in your belief? Where are the things you need and want to learn? Where did your business not serve you this year? Where did you not serve your business this year? And get really, really honest with it. So today I posted a little bit of a reel. I don't know if you follow me on social media, and it said, guess what? COVID was 5 years ago. 5 whole years. And many, many of us keep coming to ourselves and saying, I can't do it because things have changed so much. Things are so stressful. There's been so much upheaval. It's so scary out there. That was true for a time, but guess what? We're past it now. We are past it now. Even though, yes, things are still different and whatever, it's not the way it used to be. It is time to put your head down and accept that things are the way they are, and you will be required to show up no matter what. Nothing will change if you do not show up. So no more giving ourselves the excuse, things are so hard now. It's not true. It is not true. One of the best things for me about being an MVP is that Arbonne shares business numbers with us. And so we know things like last year, they thought maybe at the end the trend was up. They weren't quite sure. They didn't want to say it was an upward trend yet because it could have just been a good end of year. And then the beginning of this year, they're like, you know what? The trend is up. And then this year they said, you know what? We took a look at some things and you know what's up? Sponsoring is up. Promotions are up. Things are back up. So if in your business, you're telling yourself you can't be successful right now because of all that stuff that had been happening, it's not true anymore. It's not. There are other people who are being successful right now. So I just really want you to do a gut check with yourself. And one of the things we need to do a gut check with ourselves about is starting new people, is sponsoring. Now, if you're somebody who's here as a brand ambassador and you have no desire to build an organization, that's absolutely okay. You can build a great business like that up to a certain point. Of course, you're not going to get beyond a certain point because you can't do it by yourself. But if you don't want that, that's totally fine. But if you're somebody who used to have an organization, you still want an organization, it's still a goal of yours to be a thriving area, a regional vice president. If you even just want to build some stability and some security, team is the way to go. We know this, and it's a lot more fun. It is a lot more fun, not just for QV, not just for income, but really just for the support and the community and the building up of each other. So here's what I want you to understand. When I sat down to think through this, and I have gotten so many messages about the training about how we're going to handle nutrition in 2025. And everybody is saying, thank you guys so much for doing this. It's so streamlined now. I totally get it. It's so simple. It's so easy. And then I sat down and I started thinking about how we start new consultants, why we start new consultants. And I realized it is the exact same thing. And maybe we haven't been saying that to you guys clearly enough. So the exact same process that I went through during that training about nutrition 2025, how we're going to handle it, is how we're going to talk about having new people on your team right now. We're just going to go through it again. And nothing about this is new. We do not have a new website. We don't have anything new here. But I wonder if we've not been thinking about it the same way that we're thinking about that nutrition website. Because we started the launch website a year ago. It's been a whole year, or maybe even... No, it's been exactly a year because we were getting it done at the end and we launched it at the beginning of 2024. So let's talk about what the process looks like. Our goal for running a business in our organization is that the same 4 things that we wanted people to know about our nutrition programs is what you know and what we want people to know about running a business with us. That a business with Arbonne in our organization is accessible, convenient, sustainable, impactful. The exact same 4 qualities we want people to understand when they're thinking about nutrition with us is what we want people to understand and what I want you to understand before we start talking to other people about running a business with us. So we want people to see that, and we want you to be showing and demonstrating that. And if you're not right now actively demonstrating those things to the people you wish were in your organization, let's talk about how we're meeting each measure so that you've got it really clear in your own head before we go talk to other people. So accessible. Accessible just means kind of attainable for most people, right? Not every single part of it, but for the most part, it is. So no crazy start orders. I was just talking to a girlfriend the other day, and she was saying how her neighbor started one of those color businesses, you know, like what's your season, wear different colors businesses, and it is $12,000 to start. $12,000 to start. We don't do that. We don't do anything close to that. I mean, would it be fantastic? Sure. If every person who joined my team had a $12,000 start order, I would be Cecilia Stoll right now. But that's not the case. And we don't do that on purpose because we want it to be accessible. Accessible is a goal of ours. That is something we're aiming for. So no crazy start orders. Very accessible that way. No inventory. Everyone you know who's starting a brick and mortar business has a lot of inventory they have to pay for. They have a lot of overhead stuff they have to pay for. All of that is before they can make a single penny. They have a lot of continuing costs. We don't have that. Really, the only continuing cost in Arbonne that is absolutely required is you're going to need to renew your consultant ID next year. And it is very, very low cost to do that. And in fact, goodness gracious, Arbonne has given us 80 times this year to renew it at even a lower cost than that. But even let's say you had to pay $100 a year to renew. That's a fantastic deal. That is a great deal. That is highly accessible. Websites and resources are free and they're already done. So the New Nutrition website, free for all of your organization to use, anybody in your organization to use, already done. Nobody has to do anything with that. Resources, same thing. Right on that website, you can see guidebooks, you can see recipes, you can see meal plans. Same with our launch website. All of that free, already done. So much good graphic design and social media posts are given to each person on each team through however your team communicates, right? Through your Facebook page, your nation page, your band page, however. So much of that is ready for you. So when there's a sale and you wake up on January 1st and there's whatever, there's not a sale tomorrow. That's not what I'm saying. You know that those images will already be there. They're already be ready for you. You're not sitting at home being like, oh God, I wish I had something. It's not like that. You have all of that. They have all of that. Plus, do not forget, in the launch website is a 30-day content kit. The guide is 100% done. It tells them what to do every day. You can steal images from that. They can steal images from you. You're going to help them with that. They have a weekly skills call to help them learn any lacking or new skills. I got to tell you, every single one of us is going to lack a skill at one point. Every single one of us is going to need to learn new skills at one point. That would be true no matter what you do. If you are the PTO president, it's going to ask you for a skill you probably don't have sometime. If you volunteer somewhere, if you parent, your marriage, you're going to be asked to learn new skills all of the time. It is good for you. And they're accessible new skills because we're here every single week saying, hey, we know you need to know this to run a thriving business, and we're going to teach you how to do it step by step. We are in it with you, right? They are not on their own. And then choice of how to build. Everybody here has a choice of how they want to build. That makes it more accessible for a lot of people because it's a very different life to be a nurse doing shift work than it is to be a stay-at-home mom, than it is to be somebody who works a typical 9 to 5, than it is to be somebody in the military who's deployed. And every single one of those kind of people have had success in Arbonne. Every single one. And a big part of that is because how you build is very accessible. You get to choose that as long as you're willing to do the work. That makes this accessible. Okay, convenient. Many of the same things with accessible are also a convenience item, but because there are no mandatory minimums for consultants, you can build on your own terms and on your own timeline. And there is a lot of freedom in that. So if you're not familiar, other companies have minimums the second you start. And that means people cannot take the time they need to build. We can take the time to build as we need. That is very convenient. They are not on the hook for a ton of mandatory minimum costs right away. They can take the time to really do what they need to do. Weekly checks are a convenience item for us. For sure. An easy way to make a faster impact on your family's finances, that's convenient. If I want to make $100 next Tuesday, because I know I have an eyelash fill appointment, I play this game with myself all of the time to this day, you guys. I know that I can do that and get paid that on Tuesday. I love that. That is convenient for sure. The resources are done for you. Like I mentioned, that's convenient. You get online, you grab those. I don't know how we could make it humanly any easier than that is. That's convenient. Replenish Me is a convenience program for us. It means that we have less follow-up to do. I still want you to be doing excellent follow-up with people, particularly those of them on Replenish Me. But it does mean that you're able to kind of put people into a program where they're ordering every month and they're getting what they need. They're not forgetting. They're not trying to get a hold of you. You're not hunting them down. That is a lot more convenient than even when I started the business. And then if you are not required to recruit, I want to put that in the convenience category because in a lot of companies, you can't promote until you have a certain number of legs. You can't sustain your promotion unless you have a certain number of other promotions, whatever. It is convenience for us to be able to choose. If we just want to be a brand ambassador and share a ton of product, that's totally great. And if you don't, and you want to build a team and you want to be working with people, you can do that. That is absolutely a convenient part of our compensation plan. Okay, sustainable. Again, all of the above, right? Because all of these feed into each other. Everything is kind of a circle. But you can set a pace that you can maintain. So if it is not sustainable to you to do $40,000 a month in CQV, guess what? Do not set that pace for yourself. Build a team, go slower, try to hit 10, but it's entirely up to you. Home office has never once in my best days or in my worst days called me and said, Shannon, girl, you need to do better. Shannon, your CQV used to be pretty good and now it's not. They don't tell me about that at all. I get to set my own pace. That makes this sustainable for me across, I'm heading into almost at year 11 here. It truly has been sustainable for me when all of my kids were babies. It's sustainable for me now that I've got one kid in college. I'm helping the next kid get to college. And in 10 years, it'll be sustainable for me if I might be a grandmother. It's unhinged, but it is sustainable through all of these seasons for me because I get to set my own pace. And that's true for everyone else too. You can shift as your needs change. Again, my needs have changed a lot since I had all babies to having all teenagers and having whatever comes next, man. It's a gift. It's a gift, but I can shift it. Let's say for example, when I started, one big shift since then is we were doing all skincare. If you were there 10 years ago, that's mostly what you were doing too. I don't even think we mentioned nutrition much at the parties we were doing. And then as your interests shift or as trends shift or as what people want shift, you can shift what you're talking about. So I've shifted to now, I think my business is probably 75-ish% nutrition. Nothing happened. I couldn't not sell that. I don't have only a territory or only this I can share. I was able to shift that. That has made this very sustainable over the course of the last 10 years for me. You can change your goals and still make an income. So maybe a long time ago, you didn't want to build a team. You only wanted to share links, let's say, or you only want to share products, but now you're like, oof, I want to do more. You're not locked into one type of consultant. You can change your mind at any time and start to build a team now, even if you haven't in the past. And vice versa. If you've had a huge team in the past and that's not something you were interested in right now, you can focus more on CQV. That makes it sustainable for you. Monthly recurring revenue. I know I say this all of the time, but it is absolutely the key of sustainable income for you. And one of the things that Arbonne gives us is exactly that. People consistently reorder that Green Synergy. They do not go without their fizz. They do not go without their protein. Skincare takes a little bit longer, but that's good. They appreciate that it lasts longer. It's not an upside for us all the time in terms of them reordering every month, but it's absolutely an upside for customer loyalty. They trust us. We're credible to them. They like that products are concentrated and last longer. They think we're thinking about their budget, which we are, because they want that. And so that's amazing for us. And then if you build a team, you are building more security and more coverage of even character qualities. And that does make this sustainable. So I might not get good at, let's call it empathy. I might not get good at empathy fast enough to really help my team when they need it. But because I have built a team, I have Nicolette. Nicolette is excellent at empathy. It's the gift the Lord gave her, right? She is a coverage for me. That makes it sustainable that when I'm not really good at something, she is good at it over here. And when she's not really good at something, I might be good at it over here. And that really is a sustainability factor for our teams, is that we can work with different people with different strengths and we all value each other's strengths. That does make this sustainable. Okay, and last, impactful. And this one's gonna be the fastest because I want you to think about these categories for yourself. But income, community, and health. How is this business impactful for you in those three areas? Because I can't tell an authentic story for you about how that's impactful for you. I just can't. It wouldn't be genuine. People would know it was my voice. They know it would, but in those areas, those things are the things that people tend to say are most impactful about Arbonne on the business side. So the exact same four qualities, the goals that I have for our nutrition programs that I want your clients, your prospective clients to know about nutrition are the same goals that I want people who are working with our organization to know about running a business, is that they are those four things. So just know, if you know that and you believe that, when you then go talk to people, they will feel it. The person with the most confidence in the conversation wins. Always. I don't like the word wins there, but they are the one who will get what they want, is because they have the most confidence. So before you talk to your prospects about starting this as a business, I want you to nail that into your head so good, so that you have so much confidence in how we get people started and the simplicity we have in our organization of running a business. So let's talk about exactly what this looks like. So if you are like, oh God, I do not want to, I feel you, I do, but we're all getting back on the horse in 2025. So let's do this together. But first things first. So for that training at Danielle's Area Manager Retreat, I looked at exact numbers of people who are thriving areas. And what we found was really surprising to us, to the point where we almost didn't want to share it with you. But in order to have a thriving area in a year, you need to be sponsoring somewhere between 6 and 12 people. Your area will be sustainable and you will not have lost your area. For the most part, all other things being equal, I am not promising you a freaking thing. But if you, in 2023, now this may not remain true forever, but in 2023, if you sponsored somewhere between one person every other month to one new consultant a month. Now, those people were not growing. They were not becoming regional vice presidents. They weren't going from 10,000 to 30,000. They weren't, but they were easily maintaining somewhere in the 10 to 20 range, which is the goal of most of the people that I took a look at. So I looked at I think six leaders' businesses. And that was their goal. And that is exactly what they were hitting. Now, of the 6, the 3 that weren't making it were the people who didn't sponsor at least 6 people in a year. So just keeping that in mind, it's less people than you think. So if this feels very intimidating to you, coming back from all of the changes that there have been in the last 5 years that we're not talking about ever again for the whole rest of my life, because I'm so sick to the teeth of it, just know it's not as many people as you think. So we are just going to make a goal of doing 1 a month. 1 a month is something you can do for your business. You really, really can. If I told you you had to work out once a month, many of you would go ahead and do it. Even if you didn't feel like it, even if you did it on the 30th of the month, every month in 2025, you'd probably go ahead and hit it because you wanted to say you did. And that's what we're going to do about thinking about new consultants. So let's go through the same process for new consultants that we went through nutrition about how are we finding these people? The exact same 3 steps. Remember we talked about then? Attract, convert, coach. We're going to do the same thing again because it is as simple as it is to talk to PCs about nutrition. It is that simple. So how are you attracting people? I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this because we spent a lot of time on exactly how I do that when it comes to clients. It is not any different when it comes to people you want to take a look at the business. It comes down to what are you talking about? So I want you to go look at either your presentations, if you're mostly an in-person person, or your social media, your email, your text, if you're mostly a not in-person person, and look at what are you speaking about? If you are not speaking about the business, if you are not speaking about making an income, if you are not speaking about our community, then people are not going to think about you in the business together. They might become great clients because you're maybe talking a lot about nutrition. You're maybe talking a lot about skin. You're maybe talking a lot about makeup, how to do this makeup look, maybe. But if you're never talking about the things that I consider business pillars for us, that's going to explain why it feels very, very hard to find people to look at the business. It's not that no one wants to do this anymore. It's that we're not talking about it. People are not thinking about you as a business mentor because you're not thinking about you as a business mentor. You're just not. So are you making this business look attractive? Attract is called attract for a reason. It's because you want to look good. If I go to your Facebook and you are just bitching and you're like, it's not attractive to people. People have plenty of negativity in their life without us complaining about a business that we chose to start, that we are amply rewarded for the work that we put in, if and when we put in the work. Not attractive to people. They don't want to be around that. They got negativity. Do people know that part of this job is helping other people be successful? Do they have any idea that that's the other half of your job? They might not. They might not. Really. We think everybody knows everything about this business because we do. It's not really the case. A lot of people have no clue about this stuff. Are you then positioning yourself as somebody who can mentor them? Do you position yourself as an authority? The same way as when we talked about this with nutrition is the way that we're going to talk about it with business. Are you positioning yourself? Are you showing, I'm trying to grow in this way? Here's a course I'm taking. Here's a retreat I went to. Here's a mastermind I'm part of. Here's a business conversation I'm part of. Here's a book I'm reading. Here's somebody I helped. Congratulations to Donna, who just hit this. I'm so proud of you for starting your business. Man, it was so much fun to connect with these new people tonight. Are you positioning yourself as somebody who is a mentor? Or are you positioning yourself as someone who's totally floundering around? Because people can tell. They'll know. And then what do people want in a mentor? So sit down and think about what qualities do you think people want in somebody they would consider a mentor, and make sure that you are showing at least your effort to become those things. None of us need to show up as perfect. I would never suggest that. People are not attracted to perfect. They don't like it. And also it makes them feel like they can't do it. If they look at you and they're like, Shannon, you are basically perfect. You're too capable. You can do anything. Then they don't think to themselves, Julie, you can do it, what she does. They don't think that. They think, oh, well, she's the unicorn. You do not want that. So perfection is not what we're going for. But you still need to be positioning yourself as somebody they want to work with. They want to be around. They want to partner with. I really like the word partner. I never, ever use the word sponsor. I don't use recruit. I don't use upline. I don't use downline. I really like the word partner a lot because that's what it is. It genuinely always is a partnership, no matter who started the business first or who's the leader. It really is a partnership, and we all bring things to the table that all of us need. Okay, so then, so same deal as nutrition call. The best bet really is making them come to you. So remember how I said during the nutrition call, I'll write a post and then I'll say, comment January for blah, blah, blah. Same deal with business. So comment January for the top 3 things I see people doing. I would say probably the top 3 mistakes I see small business owners making. And then comment this. Just make them come to you, because then they're interested, they know they're interested, and it's a lot easier to have a conversation. If that doesn't happen, then I go directly to people who I've already attracted to be a client, because they are interested and they're killing it and they're having a great experience with us, because we know they're having a great experience with us because we're making it a great experience they're having with us. January is your prime time for this. You have all these people, they're doing the nutrition programs with you. You've worked really hard on that. Are you saying to them, hey, you are killing this? Is there anyone else you could share this with? I say that to people literally before they even started. So all my January nutrition people, I have said, hey, is there anyone else you want to do this with you? We found it a lot more successful if you do it with a group. And obviously your energy is amazing. People love to do what you do. And most people are like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ask whoever. And then once you've already done that, it's very easy to say to them, hey, have you ever thought about doing this? Like, you already shared with your friend, like, should I just put her in under you instead? People are like, yeah. The phrase, you may as well make the income, not me, is very, very helpful for a lot of people when they're like, well, you already did it. All the difference is for you is that I just enter it under your name instead of enter it under my name. You don't need to do anything different than you already did. And then they're already successful. So attracting them, having them come to you. One really simple idea that many of you probably have not done yet, and I do not want this to be overwhelming to you, is creating some kind of lead magnet. If you're not familiar with the idea of a lead magnet, it can be as simple as a really small 1-page graphic you make in Canva that's like 10 ideas for making money in 2025. It doesn't have to be anything insane. It could be anything like that. But if instead of using something like a menu plan or a recipe book, which are some things I've done for lead magnets in the past, you would do something that relates to income, because that would attract people who are interested in income and business to you, as opposed to people who are just interested in the nutrition side to you. So we can talk more about ideas like that later. Send me a message, because I'm already at 34 minutes. But that could be one idea that can really help those people come to you, and then they're interested in some kind of business, something. So let me know if you want ideas for that. Okay, then part 2, convert. This is like what we call the sorting hat, right? All you Harry Potter fans, we're like converting. But the sorting hat is not everybody should be a consultant. Unlike back in the day when we were like, everybody should be a consultant, that's not true anymore. Do not start people who are pretty clear about not wanting to make an income. All it does is frustrate you and them, and you lose income, which is something that took me at least 5 of my, maybe more like 8 of my 7, 8 of my 10. Y'all, I'm so tired. I've had house guests since I don't even know when. It's taken me a long time to learn that when you convert a good PC to a consultant who intends to do nothing and then does do nothing, you lose income. So think and ask good questions of the people that you want to be consultants. So the question flow that I use for this are, what draws you to this? Like, what is attractive to you about this? What's exciting to you about the idea of a business? And then what hesitations do you have? And then what is a financial goal you'd love to meet? Because when you talk to them about that, it's really easy to send messages back. And so very similarly to nutrition, then I send a message back that says, it really does not matter what they say in response to those 3 questions. It's just in order to have a good conversation where you're focusing on them, where you're not word vomiting every single thing about our compensation plan on them. It focuses on them. Then I send a message back, and this is exactly the same nutrition message I send. Most people who want X, I suggest they do Y. Most people who want to make $200 a month become a consultant, and that means you'll be sharing with somewhere in the range of 3 to 5 people a month. So I'll help you get launched, I'll help you get started, but it's nothing crazy. Most people who want to make $10,000 a month aim to become a regional vice president. Regional vice presidents take this pretty seriously as a business. So what I'm going to help you do is not only launch your business, but find a couple of people to work with right off the bat. So be thinking of who else you might want to work with, because of making income like that, you're going to treat this more seriously, right? But then you do that, and then you send them what? The exact same freaking website I told you to send them to when we talked about nutrition, Be Well and Tell. If you have not explored Be Well and Tell, in addition to the sections on nutrition, there's also a Join the Movement section. Join the Movement is code for Become a Consultant. Click on that and then send them that direct link, and it will only head them directly to the consultant part. And if they go around and they find more stuff, that's great, right? That's amazing. It's a resource available to them that shows them the simplicity and the streamlinedness of the business, but it's the same. This is not complicated. We have overcomplicated the ever-loving heck out of doing this. It is the exact same conversation flow as when you were talking to somebody about nutrition. Send them to Be Well and Tell. It's been there. This is not new. It's not a new section. It has been there. And then the coaching part. So just remember, resource-wise, if you are looking for DAs, somebody needs more, you need to go back to them again, like it didn't quite hit them right when you sent them Be Well and Tell and you were going back and forth. Those DAs are all on the launch website. So don't forget that part of the launch website has DAs. It has stories, it has DAs. Don't forget that that's a resource for you to use too. But so then we've done Attract, we've done Convert, and then next is Coach. The exact same way as you're going to need to coach your 30 days people, your daily essentials people, we're going to coach our new consultants. We are not just dropping them the website, the launch website, and being like, hoping for the best, good luck. You're going to coach them through it. You're going to walk them through step by step, but you don't have to know anything more than you already do. Why? Because it's all laid out step by step by step, just like the new nutrition website. That's the part we did for you last year. We did the business website first because we believe in our hearts it's more important for you to have a sustainable business, to be able to build other people who are successful, not just you. That's why we did that first. It's not new, but we haven't been using it maybe the way that we should have. We haven't been thinking to ourselves, this is as simple as it needs to be. Move in the same direction and then coach them through it. So do you see how this is the exact same process? It is same. If you sent me a message, you sent Shannon, Danielle, whoever you sent a message to saying, thank you so much for going through that process for building a new nutrition website. Now it's finally very simple. It is the same for adding to your team. The process is the same. The information sites you send them are the same. The structure of how we do it is the same. It is all the same. And very similarly, you have us. And our commitment to you is that if you don't know what you're doing, you do not feel confident yet, we will help you with all of these things if you reach out and you ask us to. If you are not confident in launching yet, start a three-way message with your MVP, your new person, and we'll go through the launch site together. We can do an onboarding Zoom where we share the screen and we walk them through that website all together. And you do that 2 or 3 times, you're going to be so sick of my little spiel, you're going to start doing it by yourself because you're going to see there's no magic there. It really is just, here is the resource. This is what you do next. And then checking in and checking in and checking in. Hey, did you make it through step 1 yet? I didn't see your goal sheet yet. I didn't see your, oh my gosh, you know what? I was just thinking about your friend, whoever that I met at the launch, and I realized we've got a DA on the site from another teacher. Why don't you send her Amy's DA? And like, just there's so many things you can do, but making sure you're actually talking to your people, going through coaching, just the same way we really want to be clear that you need to do for nutrition. And I was not super specific about that on the last skills call, but in addition to the website and the text and all of that, of course, it is still our job to coach our clients. And it's still our job to coach our new people. So in 2025, we are going to continue. Oh, we're getting more people joining even now. We're going to continue to help you learn the skills that you need every single month to build a business simply so that it starts to feel simple to you. So much of this is just a mindset issue, and we've let ourselves be distracted by so many things on the outside world, so many things in our house, so many changes. We've really let ourselves get off track, but it is that simple. And we can go back to not only believing and understanding in ourselves that it's that simple, but showing that to other people so that other people think, oh my gosh, this is doable, because it is, and it always has been. So one of the things we're going to do is kick off 2026. Carrie Kane is going to go next week with the skills that we feel like are essential to network marketing. That's what we're going to focus on in January. Every week you're going to come, you're going to hear about a skill that we know is essential to network marketing. In February, take a deep breath, we're going to walk you through how to set up your email service, step by step by step, how to set up emails, how to make them look pretty, how to write emails. We are going to work you through every skill that we know is essential for you in 2025 because we want you to have a thriving business. That is our commitment to you. We're going to continue to learn all that we need to learn. We're going to continue to provide you the resources that you need. We love that. That's our commitment to you. That's what we're going to do in 2025. Now, our challenge to you, though, is I would like you to sit down and think about one new skill you want to learn per quarter. So that will be how many? 4. 4 new skills. Wait, nope. Yep. 4 new skills in a year. That is not overwhelming. That is not crazy. That is entirely doable. and it will serve you well, whether you stay with Arbonne for the rest of your life or you don't. So I want you to think of your 4. I want you to text at least one of them to your MVP. So we know you're listening, that you're involved in this, that you want to be learning. Some ideas for you real quick. Face to camera videos. If you've never done that yet, if it freaks you out super bad, it's a new skill. You can take an entire 3 months, to teach yourself how to be better at it. You can take 1,000 videos that you never share with anybody, that you only text to me, you only text your accountability partner. Take 3 months and learn how to be good at it. You can start a YouTube channel. If you're already good at it, now start putting your reels just in a YouTube channel. Don't do anything different. You can just dump them into a YouTube channel. You could learn how to do Canva. I know so many of you are like, Canva's so good and it intimidates the heck out of me. Take 3 months to learn how to do Canva. Take a self-paced social media class. If you were like, I cannot with social media, so many people are selling like $7 courses. Take a $7 course, work your way through a course to learn how to do something you want to learn how to do. Set up your text service. If you have been procrastinating, setting up Hit 'em Up or Project Broadcast, it is a work smarter, not harder thing. Trust me, you really want to. Just do it. Just force yourself and do it. And again, give yourself 3 whole months. 3 whole months to do it. You can. This is in addition to the normal work you're going to be doing. We are not doing business activity. This is all in addition. Set up ManyChat. Share the opportunity one-on-one with 5 people. 5 people in 3 months. You can do it. Sit them down. If you've not done a one-on-one in a freaking long time, this might be your year. I want you to sit down. I want you to find your ideas. There are endless ideas for what to do. But if you want to thrive in 2025, this is our challenge to you. We're doing it with you. I believe that this is what's best for you as a human, not just a business owner, but also what's best for you as a business owner. And it is time to put away the old things. It is time to put away old things. We are going to rise and thrive in 2025. That is my biggest goal. It's the joy of my heart that you guys get to do this. Allison, I see you have a question about, can I suggest any people who are good at doing attraction posts with business? And that is a tough question, because a lot of times when people do attraction posts with business, it might not be our business and they might not be talking about a business thing. So my business coach, for example, talks a ton about like astrology and human design stuff. And she draws people in to do the business thing she wants them to do by talking to them about that. It's not always as linear. And so it's a little bit harder to teach. So I would suggest you find your thing, whatever your thing is, and just know that you can connect that to being a successful entrepreneur somehow. And if you can't connect it, then maybe that's not the right pillar. But if you can start talking about one thing. Being cohesive, I think, is more important maybe than knowing the exact right thing to say all the time, but kind of repeating the same messages over and over and over again. I can mentor you. It's one of my joys. I love helping people, just kind of in that direction. But just think about what you feel like you're good at. Anytime I feel like I'm good at something, or if you feel like you've been given a gift from God, if you have a natural strength, those are the things to always set up your posts and always to set up your like position of authority around, because other people do look at you and they think, I could never do that. I had a Christmas party and one of the other moms said, oh, I could never decorate my house like you do. And I was like, yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. You absolutely could. But if it's a strength that people praise you for, that might be a good topic for a lead magnet, for your videos, for kind of your business pillar around how you can position yourself as authority. Is anything people are like, gosh, you're really good at this. That might be it for you. But I can't say, because again, to be authentic to you, you've got to pick something that's genuine to you. But we can talk through it more. I just feel like it's a little complicated to teach on. I will try to think of more people in Arbonne, though, in particular, too, who I feel like do a really good job of this. I think you guys all know Carly and Jess. The way that they post is intentionally to draw people in, right? They post about the parties they hold. They post about the gifts they give. They post about the new workout they're posting on their team website, because they want people to see you have access to all of this when you're in our organization. And I think anything you start in that direction is going to be perfect. I wish I had a better answer, but I will think on that. Anyway, you guys, we are cheering you on. Thank you for being here. I know it's the very last minute. All of you are tired. It's been a long season, I know, but we're really, really excited to start the new year with you.